I guess this is just some timey-wimey that no one understands anyway. Hey guys, DBY here, and today I'm back with another What If. This time, this is more of a side What If to another one of the What Ifs I do in this channel. I think it's important to tell this side of the story before we go any further. Now, this is a side What If of what if Bardock stopped Lord Freeza. As per your vote, we are continuing into the Android saga, but in order to tell this part correctly, so there's no confusion, we've got to tell the history of Trunks' side of the story first, or in this case, the history of Barne, because this time, as we saw in the last part, it's actually Future Barne who returned to the past instead of Future Trunks. And why is that? Well, we're going to find out in a moment. But for those of you who haven't been keeping up with the What If Bardock Stopped Lord Freeza story, I do recommend you check out the other parts. Barne is the third Saiyan child to Bardock and Gine as per the vote from my YouTube audience. I let my YouTube audience decide whether or not that Bardock and Gine's third Saiyan child was either going to be a boy or a girl, and the most liked name suggestion would be that child's name. Our story continues where Future Barne has arrived and has killed Seda, who basically tried to conquer Earth, basically filling out the spot Cyborg Freeza originally would have had in the original timeline. I know, DB you're inserting your own characters. Unsubscribe! Yeah, I know, but we really needed to fill up that time. She, of course, fills in everyone with what has happened in her timeline and about the androids, but how did Future Barne actually come to be there? Alright, it's time to find out as we begin the history of Barne. Now, the story right from the get-go has quite a few significant differences. Right now, Goku is actually still alive in this timeline. Yes, Goku is actually still alive because he never went to Yard Rat. During this whole What If Bardock Stopped Lord Freeza, the events that would have had Goku end up in Yard Rat in the original story did not happen. So Goku has not contracted the heart virus, so he's still around when the androids show up. And well, you could argue that Goku would make a huge difference with him being there, but actually no, and not to mention, all the other Saiyans who come and go spending their space vacations here, trying out the Earth delicacies, and of course the Saiyan and Earth trade that's going on with Capsule Corp, which has boosted Earth's economy tremendously. There's pretty much no unemployment with the kind of money that the entirety of planet Earth is making with this Saiyan Earth alliance sort of venture. So yeah, just to be clear on that. Bardock and Gine and Raditz have also chosen to move to Earth to be with the rest of the family, which is good for Gohan, which means Gohan gets to grow up with Auntie. I got that wrong. So yeah, Gohan actually gets to grow up with his auntie, which is Barne. Barne is the exact same age as Gohan in this story, so they love training together. Because Chi-Chi, is more or less making Gohan study, just like in the original. But now we hit the time where Android 17 and 18 make their appearance and attack South City, just like they do in the history of Trunks. And of course, the Z-Fighters being taken out completely off guard. Yeah, we get the entire onslaught of the Dragonteam, as per normal, with the addition of Goku. Goku, yeah, just because Goku wasn't around, he still didn't make a significant difference, considering they were all taken by surprise. Remember in the main timeline, the original story, the main reason that pretty much the Dragon Team survived the whole thing and got through the whole perfect cell incident and all that is because they had all that warning from the future. If Future Trunks hadn't have visited them in that timeline, there's no way they would have been able to have stopped the androids. No way. Goku or not. So, more or less, most of the Dragon Team is taken out. Which, kind of a good sense of satisfaction on 17 and 18. Well, what do you know, sis? We actually completed Dr. Giro's programming. We killed Goku. Yeah, kind of a letdown, though. I really expected him to be more of a challenge. And of course, hunting down the rest of the Dragon Team is one of their favourite pastimes. And because we got a bunch of Saiyans there as well, there are a lot more people they can play with. And it got to the point where the whole Planet Vegeta goes into basic lockdown. They go into a complete lockdown. They're not approaching the Earth because too many of their Saiyan citizens have been taken out by these androids, and it seems that there's no one really strong enough to take them out. Even Vegeta was taken out on Earth. So Vegeta was a frequent visitor to Earth. He really liked Bulma, and yes, they still had their kid, Trunks. And yeah. At this point, the only survivors right now are Raditz, Bardock, Gine, Barne, Gohan, and of course, Trunks. And after much discussion and debate, and Chi-Chi and the Ox King are still around too. With a bit of discussion, they agree that it's in their best interest that they train up Trunks, the son of their fallen King Vegeta. Who's sitting on the throne then, if Vegeta's dead? Well, the throne went back to Queen Cassava, who's still pretty well in ruling shape. But at this point, she can't sacrifice any more lives of Saiyans who are being killed left, right, and center by Android 17 and 18 during that onslaught. So they decide. Everyone's in agreement that they should start training up Trunks, because if any of them should fail, Trunks will most likely be their best bet for the future. So Trunks is getting, quite the training, and let's just say Trunks' training is significantly different than what it is in the original. But eventually, with the family getting themselves separated and being taken out one by the androids, eventually even Bardock and Gine are killed by the androids, and along with Raditz. The only reason that Barne, Gohan, and Trunks are actually able to escape that battle is because Barne gets angry and furious and loses control again, hitting into legendary Super Saiyan form, and more or less gives 17 and 18 quite a surprising blow, and they're able to escape that way. So Gohan and Barne together train up Trunks, while they also try and fight off the androids. And so the years basically go by, and we head into where Gohan and Barne are both young adults, and Trunks is in his teenage years. And since then, Barne has learnt to control her legendary Super Saiyan form a little bit better. Not by much, but a little bit better. There's not really anyone who can really teach her that. Not that, it's not like Gohan really understands that version of Super Saiyan. And, well, Trunks being Trunks, he wants to fight too. And he has more or less developed a bit of a crush on Barne. And Barne, still looking like a teenager, and she's more or less interested in Trunks. But there are feelings starting to stir between the two. While basically more or less Barne decides to keep training up Trunks. Gohan still flying off, wandering off, and challenging the androids every chance he can. Now, could Barne simply just transform into a great ape and destroy the androids? Yeah, she probably could, more or less. The only problem is with that is that she'd be killing countless people as well. All the people in the populace. Remember, there are no DragonBalls to resurrect anyone, because Piccolo was one of the first killed when the androids surfaced. We're more or less now heading towards the battle in the amusement park. Barne, this time having an entire trio of Saiyans to challenge the androids. Unfortunately, with Trunks' inexperience in getting in the way, the androids still get the better of them. The huge difference, though, is that Gohan doesn't lose his arm in this battle. Nah, Barne loses her arm instead. Because Barne will do anything to protect Trunks. She's taken quite the liking to the kid. So, yeah, she put herself in harm's way to make sure Android 18 didn't kill Trunks. Well, mind you, Gohan would have done the same thing, but Barne spotted it first. Trunks got the Sensu, and Gohan and Trunks had to lift Barne, and they all flew back to Capsule Corp. And her condition after the androids did their little pot shots, she's in slightly worse condition than what Gohan was in the original. So she's down and out of it for the moment, while Gohan basically is trying to keep up with Trunks' training and trying to get him to go Super Saiyan as well. And of course, that is when the next androids attack, and of course, Gohan knocking out Trunks. Sorry, Trunks, I know you're eager to fight, but for now, this is my fight. Look after yourself. And of course, with that, Gohan flies up and he challenges 17 and 18, and, well, we know how that ends. It ends with Gohan putting up, well, he actually puts up a bit more of a fight than he does in the original, considering the fact that he has both his arms this time. And he more or less does well. It actually seems like he's gonna win, but it more or less just ends the same way for Gohan, with him being destroyed by the evil mechanical duo. And of course, at that moment, Trunks wakes up, and that storm happens, and he flies down, of course, and spots Gohan lying motionless in the ruins of the city. Gohan, how could you? How could you do this? How could you leave me like this? Gohan! Gohan! And he gets furious and actually triggers his Super Saiyan transformation. And as he's just sort of on the ground in that form, and he's just punching at the ground furiously, he is suddenly stopped with a sudden tap on his shoulder. It is Barne, who has awoken from being knocked out. She still has one arm, and she's just got her arm around Trunks, and they're more or less just crying together. And of course, then we head into that time skip where Trunks is heading into his young adult life, and Barne has since gotten a mechanical arm fitted to her limb. Looks pretty cool. Bit of tribute to the Terminator there. Dun, 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 dun. And, well, and of course, Bulma is working on the finishing touches to the time machine. Trunks, overhearing on the radio that the androids are struck again, has flown off to battle them. Bulma trying to explain to her son, no, don't do this. We can just use the time machine. But it's too late. He's long gone. And Barne will follow after they do the final adjustments to her new arm. Meanwhile, Trunks has gone to battle with the androids, much like he does in the original, that final battle with the androids. But ultimately, it reaches its same conclusion with Trunks being defeated by androids. As the androids were about to do what they believed would be their final blow to finish off Trunks, Barne more or less gets in the way and stops them, and the androids actually end up fleeing. Barne taking the wounded Trunks back home, who is now, of course, sleeping in the hospital bed, and basically declares that if the time machine is ready, I will take the trip back and warn everyone. No way! N.O. Trunks! You don't even know if you've got any legs under that bed. And you ready to take a trip in the time machine? I don't think so. I think it's best that Barne go in your stead. And to be quite honest, Bulma was actually going to pick Barne anyway because everyone's familiar with Barne. She will have more of a chance convincing Bardock, Gine, Goku, and Raditz, all of them, that this threat is real, than sending a complete stranger who happens to be a Super Saiyan. So, logic dictates that Barne was going to be the one to go. A couple of weeks later, time machine's all ready to go. Barne is ready to make her trip, and well, before she goes, she kisses Trunks right on his forehead while he's sleeping, still nursing his wounds. Goes into the time machine, disappears, and chooses to arrive at that particular time because he knows everyone's gathered to battle with King Seder at the moment. That is where we're actually going to leave things for right now. So what do you guys think? Did you like this little side story? We'll definitely be back to continue what if Bardock stopped Freeza. Now that we have this side of the story filled in and ready to go. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe